T2. I use the capital letters, but you write in a ordinary way. Okay. The Indian Contract Act The Indian Contract Act 1872. Now onwards I call it as ICA 1872. What do you say? The Indian Contract Act. Now onwards I call it as ICA. Listen for 2-3 minutes. The Indian Contract Act originally consists of 266 sections. It is a very big legislation. From administrative convenience, this legislation is further classified into 3. One remain as a Indian Contract Act 1872. Second one as a Sale of Goods Act 1930. Third one as a Indian Partnership Act 1932. Now we are calling it as a Partnership Act 1932. The word Indian they have deleted in the year 1970 amendment. So today we got only Partnership Act 1932. So Indian Contract Act consists of section 1 to 75. Again here 76 to 123. Again here 124 to 238. Here 239 to 266. Same Indian Contract Act. Sections were segregated and enforced as a 3 separate legislations. Only for administrative convenience. We want to implement the Indian Contract Act most effectively, efficiently. So they divided into 3 parts. One remain as a Indian Contract Act 1872. How many sections are there? In this only 2 parts are included. One as a section 1 to 75, which speaks about general principles of a contract. Again 124 to 238, it speaks about a special contracts. When you come to the final, intermediate level, you learn this part. At the foundation level, we have only 1 to 75. That's it. We don't have the remaining. Other one is section 76 to 123 of the Contract Act. 7th schedule repealed. Repealed means cancelled and enforced as a Sale of Goods Act 1930. One chapter of the Indian Contract Act is separated, enforced as a Sale of Goods Act 1930. And then section 239 to 266, where 238 ends in the Indian Contract Act, 239 to 266. This is a 9th schedule of the Indian Contract Act, segregated, enforced as a Indian Partnership Act 1930. If you are learning these 3 means you are learning only Contract Act, because all are part and parcel of the contract law only, but under different heads we are learning. So in our syllabus we have only section 1 to 75. This is there at a foundation level. So here we are learning only this part. After that, Sale of Goods Act, then Indian Partnership Act. We go like that. Okay. Now write this segregation. You write. Make a note. I will give the sentences. You write. Paragraph wise. You write. First one. The ICA means Indian Contract Act. The ICA consists of the ICA consists of 266 sections. 266 sections. Second point. Section 1 to 75. Section 1 to 75 deals with general principles of contract. Deals with general principles of contract. Third point. Section 76 to 123. Section 76 to 123 of ICA 1872 repealed. 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 Repealed means cancelled. Continue, comma. And enforced as Sale of Goods Act 1930. Sale of Goods Act 1930. Next. Section 124 to 238. 124 to 238 deals with special contract. Special contracts. Special contracts such as you write one by one. Contract of indemnity. Contract of indemnity, section 124. Contract of guarantee. Contract of guarantee 126. Contract of bailment, section 148. Contract of pledge 172. Contract of agency 182 to section 238. 182 to section 238. 182 to section 238. These are all called special contracts. These are all called special contracts. Okay. Next. Section 239 to 266. Section 239 to 266 of ICA 1872 of ICA 1872 repealed and enforced as the Indian Partnership Act 1932. The Indian Partnership Act 1932. The Indian Partnership Act 1932. Right? Next point. The ICA came into force in India. ICA 1872 came into force in India. Came into force in India on 1st September 1872. 1st September 1872. Next. ICA is applicable to ICA 1872 is applicable to whole of India today. Applicable to whole of India, including state of Jammu and Kashmir. Whole of India means including the state. Earlier books, if you see that in such a way, Act is applicable to whole of India excluding the state of Jammu and Kashmir. After Article 370 of Constitution of India is repealed, means cancelled, so that this Act is applicable to whole of India including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. For that, Government of India already gave the Gazette notification. So this is applicable to now whole of India. Fine. Earlier we used to say excluding. Now it is include. Fine. Next one. Now listen, guys. There are 1-2 words definition I would like to give. One is a just in rem. What is the meaning of just in rem? Which means right against entire world. If you have a right against a whole world, entire world, that's called just in rem. One more word is there, just in personam. Just in personam. What is the meaning of these two? Are Latin words. Just in rem, just in personam, both are Latin words. Just in personam, the term itself is self-explanatory. Right against a person. If I have a right against one person, that is called personam. If a right against a whole world, just in rem. How do we understand just in rem? I am giving an example. For example, you have any company name you can take. It may be Tata Group, otherwise the Reliance Group, or Mahindra, or Hyundai. Take any company, no issue. For understanding purpose, I am taking RIL, Reliance Industries Limited, Mukesh Ambani, Neetu Ambani. Recently they are into limelight because his son got engaged, not married, I think so. Engagement or marriage? Which one completed? We don't know, sir. We are busy with exams. Don't say that. Engagement. Great. And RIL. RIL, whatever the goods and services they are producing, they will sell to sole selling agent. Whatever they produce, they give it to one person. Sole selling agent. From sole selling agent, wholesaler will buy. From wholesaler to retailer, retailer to customer. Contract is between whom? Retailer and customer. The remaining all people are indirectly involved. This fellow directly involved, remaining all indirectly involved. As a customer, I bought a goods from the retailer. Goods are defective. Services hired deficient. I want a compensation. I want to file a case. Against whom should I file a case? I can file a case against the whole world. Means who is directly involved? Who is indirectly involved? Maybe A1, A2, A3, A4. We write now accused 1, accused 2, accused 3, accused 4. All names will come. In fact, I never dealt with Mukesh Ambani. One person selling here, Jio Sums is selling means Mukesh Ambani need not come and sit and sell the Jio Sums. One person selling means as if Mukesh Ambani selling. Goods are defective, services are hired deficient. I want to file a case. You can file a case against all. Not necessarily the retailer. All are part of the crime. I can file a case against company plus sole selling agent plus wholesaler and retailer. Who is A1? A1 is directly company. A2 sole selling, A3 wholesaler, A4 retailer. He said, I don't know, sir, whatever goods he gave, I sold. It goes chain link, na? This is at the end. So if I got a right against every person who got a direct or indirect contact with the company, that is called jus in rem. Other one is jus in personam. What does that mean? Right against person. What does it mean? X agrees with Y. I will sell my car for 1 lakh. Later, Y failed to pay money. Now X want to file a case. He can file a case against whom? Only Y. Can he file a case against his wife and son or his parents, anyone? No, because I dealt with Y. And what if vice versa? If X refused to sell, now Y want to file a case, he can file a case against whom? X only. Because I signed with you, you signed with me. Contract is between both of us. If anything goes wrong, I can sue you or you can sue me. Other than this, I have no right. That's called personam, with whom I signed. Why I am telling both the points here? Later part you will understand Sale of Goods Act 1930. Time being you remember, this is applicable to sale. This is applicable to agreement to sale. Sir, why these points are telling in contract law? In contract also one question is there. Which one of the following is applicable to contract? Jus in rem, jus in personam, otherwise the consensus ad idem, none of the above. 4 options are there. Which one? Jus in rem or jus in personam? Answer is personam. Contract is between you and me only, na? Only 2 of us involved. Why all people will come into the picture? I said, if you are the topper, I will pay money. You become the topper. If I don't pay, you can sue me or everyone in this world. That's it. Personam. So, Indian Contract Act is personam. MCQ question, please remember. For that sake only I told. Again in the Sale of Goods Act, that is for sale. This is for agreement to sale. Am I clear? Chalo, make a note. Did you copy this? Make a note. Jus in rem. Jus in rem. Only meaning you write enough. Others not necessary. Jus in rem means right against entire world. Right against entire world. Jus in personam. Right against person. Right against person. Okay, no? Example you can develop as you like. Right? Now, we try to understand some important definitions. What is the meaning of contract? Please write. According to section 2, subsection H. According to section 2, subsection H. What is the definition of a contract? Write down. Agreement. Agreement. Enforceable. Agreement enforceable by law. Agreement enforceable by law. So this is the definition of a contract. Now tell me guys, if you know meaning of agreement, meaning of enforceability, meaning of law, I know the definition. If I know meaning of these 3 words, contract definition is clear. what is agreement, what is enforceable, what is law. Tell me guys, what is law? What is law? Law means set of rules and regulations to be followed, voluntary or mandatory? Mandatory. It is must and should. Law means set of the rules and regulations to be followed, which is mandatory. Done. Which example you can refer? Tell me. Which is mandatory? Best example which you know I will tell. As per the Motor Vehicles Act, you take the two-wheeler, four-wheeler, go on the road. While going, you have to go on. While going, you have to go on left side. While coming, you have to come on. Hello? Right side. While coming, this is road ray. While going, left side. While coming back, yes or no? Hello. Right side. Na? If you don't follow these rules, you are going as you like, zigzag. We are not following the rules. Police people caught. First time, fine. Second time, fine. Third time, fine. Hello, no. Third time, they take the bike and go by walk. Third time, confiscation. Confiscate. Confiscation means seizure, as you said. Take the vehicle back. Hey, go. License is cancelled. Get lost. Rules are there for our convenience here. Smooth flow of the traffic. If you go, everyone going on the right side, proper direction, issues won't be there. Two-wheeler has to go extreme left. Auto wala next four-wheeler. In India, quite opposite this is. I can't understand today also why two-wheeler come on the middle of the road or the extreme right side of the divider. Means people don't know the traffic rules. Bloody traffic rules they never learn because they go to one broker, that fellow will teach something and you will give the money, get a license and go on the road, kill the people. That's it. Really sir, if you have a proper sense while driving, traffic jams won't be there. Two-wheeler has to go extreme left hand. Unfortunately, people go middle of the road or extreme right side of the divider. How the remaining vehicles will go? It's a problem because people don't know rules. They don't know. I believe personally. Many people got a license. Maybe some of them might have the driving license also. Those who are having license, do you know the all signals meaning? And Sach bolo, kasam se bolo? Including me. Hello. No exception there. Very few we know. Everything we can't know because there is no proper training facility in India. I am not joking. Example. Rule. Must and should we have to follow? Yes, sir. Hey, go to America. While going, you have to go right side. While coming back, come on the left side. Why, sir? Rule law everywhere in the world. Same na. In India, left to right. They are opposite. Why? Because they are comfortable with a right hand gear system. We are comfortable with a left hand gear system. That's it. Any rule is framed as a law for our convenience only. Na? That's why law is set of the rules framed which are meant for public welfare, which is mandatory. What are the sources of law? How law developed in India? I am giving only at a nutshell, not a total picture. Separately I will discuss this point. What are the sources of law? How law developed in India? The first major source, English law. Nothing but British law. They ruled us more than 200 years. They implemented all their laws in India. Today also we are following some of their laws only without changing a single word. Going on today also, best example our Contract Act 1872 only, British law, not an Indian law this is. So English law is the major source for development of law in India. Second one, custom. Being an Hindu, being a Muslim, being a Christian, being any other religion, whatever the laws are, personal laws are there, we can follow the personal laws. Tell me one law which is against our customs and traditions. And again, in our custom, wherever good practices are there, law also accepted. Wherever the bad practices are there, evils are there, law also rejected. Like a sati, kanya shulka, untouchability, child marriages, whatever may be the evils in the society, law also said we don't want. Good practices, law also adopted as it is. And the third major source was Parliament. The laws are made in the Parliament only. And the fourth one is environment, the environmental changes. The environment may be internal environment, external environment. Internal means within India. External means globally some changes are coming. According to change globally, we have to change in India. Otherwise, we are outdated. We are not competing the global market. Because we want to be a global player, I have to change our law according to globally. Otherwise, people can't understand our judiciary system. So these are the four major sources. Parliament, how the laws are made in Parliament. At a nutshell, one sentence, 4-5 lines I will say, please understand. Whereas it is not there much here. How the laws are made in India. First bill has to be prepared. For that some groundwork will be there. We have the 30 ministers at central government. 30 ministers are there. Cabinet ministers. 30 portfolios. Like a law and order, welfare, home department, education department, HR department, finance department, like this. Right? 30 departments are there. 30 ministers are there. First of all, the concerned department has to identify one problem. There is existence of the problem. They have to identify the problem. To resolve the problem, we need one legislation. To identify the problem, make an application to Home Department. Home Department gave the approval. Bill is prepared, sent to the Law Ministry. We know Law Minister? Justice and Mila. One Law Ministry is there. Copy will be sent to the Law Ministry. Law Ministry will send that copy to all the CA, CMA, CS chapters, Management, Chamber of Commerce. Review this bill and any suggestions are there, give, and they will put on a public domain for the general discussion. This is the proposed bill. If I have any issues wanted to add, you can tell us. 30 days time. The recommendations will come. They will review the matters, point to point analyze. What are the suggestions are there? They give it to the particular Home Department. Go to Law Department. From Law Department back to again concerned department. Now bill is drafted. The bill is sent to the Law Ministry. Law Ministry approves. Then sent to the Home Minister. Home Department should approve it. After Home Department, Cabinet meeting will be conducted. In the Cabinet meeting, agenda will be there. In this meeting, what is the purpose, what items we are discussing? In that one of agenda, acceptance of the bill should be there. That Cabinet meeting should approve it. Then this bill is approved, ready to move in Parliament. Then the bill is moved in the Parliament. Members are allowed to participate in discussion. Sir, which house I have to present first? Usually Lok Sabha, then go to Rajya Sabha. Then people will discuss anything to add, anything to delete, they can do amendments. Then finally, members are approved through voting. Voting means held up your hand, show off your hands. Bill is approved, which means bill is ready. They sent to President, President signed, which means legislation ready. Then Government of India has to notify. Government of India has to notify. Means from so and so date onwards, this act is applicable. Then effective date. That notification is called Rajapatra. Means officially we are announcing this is effective from so and so date, make arrangements. You might have heard recent past, earlier our state registration number, vehicle registration name starts with TS. Now it is shifted towards TZ. For that what they did here in the cabinet meeting, they accepted this, sent a proposal to central government, Home Department approved, sent to the concerned authorities. Finally, Government of India notified. From so and so date onwards, you can take the word TZ. Otherwise, you can't change as you like. For law matters, Home Department is involved. Finally, in nutshell, simple words and identify the problem. Bill should be prepared. Cabinet meeting should approve. Move into Parliament. Parliament approval. President consent. Then Government of India will notify. The legislation came into force. What is the purpose of legislation? To resolve the problem. To understand, Telangana is the best example. Telangana state created in the year 2014. How it was done? Bill was drafted. First of all, problem was identified by Home Department. Bill was drafted, presented in the Parliament, both the houses approved, then sent to President. President gave the consent. Then Government of India notified. 2nd June 2014 onwards, Andhra Pradesh is divided into 2 states. So 2nd June 2014 onwards, Telangana state is created. If that notification was not given, bill is ready, legislation ready, date was not given, but still we are united Andhra Pradesh only. That's why Rajapatra, notification must and should. You are all passed exam. Unless results were not announced, are you qualified? Correction completed, all of you passed exam. Results were not announced. Can you claim that I passed my CA? I passed my CMA, can you claim? How can you claim? Yeah, results were not announced. Technically qualified, passed, results also, private sources. Assume. You came to know that your gut feeling, you will pass your exam. The result were not announced. Here also, bill was ready, approved, signed by President. Unless notification was not issued, there is no effective date. So this is Parliament will make the rules then. And other one is environmental changes. What is environment? Internal, external. According to change in the internal environment, we have to change our law also. What are best examples? And simplest example which you can understand, I will tell. Earlier, marriage registration was not compulsory. Today, marriage registration compulsory. Why? After going home, ask your grandfather, did his marriage got registered? He say, no. Ask our parent, your marriage got registered? No. Why registration? Because earlier, once married, once for all married. Today, once married, once for all married. Surah. One fine morning, one spouse may say to another spouse. Spouse means wife or husband. Hey, who are you, man? Why are you staying in my house? Hey, I am your husband, You? No way. Hey, see the photographs and all. Morphing. Today technology is there, na? Any person photo can be changed. Morphing. You are not my husband, you are not my wife. How to establish a case, Ray? Earlier, once given the word, once for all given the word. Today, once given the word, once for all given the word. Surah, give a word. Then give a word. You pass your exam first attempt, guarantee. Give a word that you will pass exam first attempt. I am asking for a property. Your diamond, jewelry. I am asking your effort. For that only people are thinking 10 times what to do. Cool, yeah. Generally, and today why registration compulsory? Tomorrow if you go to court to give divorce from this lady or this man, proof you are married, marriage certificate. That's why today marriage registrations are compulsory. Tomorrow if people get married, it should be registered. Before you take a selfies and all, after marriage is solemnized, ask the registrar. Registrar will come to your Kalyana Mandap. He will register. Take one certificate, take a photograph, immediately click it, keep in the mobile. Whenever one spouse got a doubt, who are you? Open the mobile. Nowadays I become short memory, no problem. After marriage only I become like this, otherwise I was alright. A very funny, interesting will be there between the couples and always. Notice. After marriage only I become like this, I know. People will discuss many things, which they were, just maybe fun, Anyway, got it? Registration compulsory. Sir, other example. Companies Act 1956 replaced with the Companies Act 2013. Why? Global standards are different ending. In India, redundant laws were there. Stringent laws were there. But globally people can't understand your law. Better is at a par with the Companies Act in English and England as well as the UK, Canada. What company law prevails, same company law but in India today. Our company law was so simplified, we got only today 470 sections. This size book has become this size book. That too self-reading, one can easily understand by reading itself. Simplest language. Intention is global players are coming to India. Earlier balance sheet means, I think all of you know balance sheet only horizontal balance sheet. I know. Left side liability, right side assets, only that. Today balance sheet means company balance sheet is a vertical form of a balance sheet. According to Schedule 3 of the Companies Act, Part 1 balance sheet, Part 2 P&L account, they have to prepare in a prescribed format. Globally they are following the same format. Today our accounting standards, auditing standards are at par with IFR regulations, International Financial Reporting. Anybody, NRI deals with Indian company, they can read a company balance sheet, they will understand. No confusion at all. Otherwise, your format is different, my formats are different. I can't understand accounting terminology. Then how can I take an investment decision in your company? So that environmental changes, externally changing, we have to change in India. Right? So, 4 major sources for development of law in India. More detail we see later part. Now guys, law means set of the rules and regulations to be followed, which is mandatory. Now tell me guys, what is enforceability? Anyone? People say, no, it is enforceable, sir. Excellent. It is valid. It is enforceable means it is valid. Then what is agreement? If I know meaning of agreement, remaining everything I know. Then what is agreement? Right now, agreement means according to section 2 subsection E, agreement is defined as every promise or set of promises forming consideration for each other. Forming consideration for each other. Every promise or set of the promises forming consideration for each other. In this definition, what is that we have to understand? What is the meaning of a promise? What is the meaning of consideration? Each other. If these 3 words meaning if you know, You know the meaning of agreement? First of all, each other. There are two persons, namely offerer, offeree, promiser, promisee. Each other means two persons. Who are the two persons? Write down. Two persons means only for reference purpose. And each other means there are two persons, namely offerer, offeree, offerer, offeree, or promiser, promisee, promiser, promisee. So there are two distinct persons, namely offerer, offeree, promiser, promisee. Second one, what is the consideration? Consideration means something in return. Something in return. Consideration means something in return. Some benefit, some advantage, moving from one person to another person. You go to a nearby shop, buy a chocolate, give 50 rupees, take a chocolate. In return of the chocolate, you are giving the 50 rupees. Other person, in return of the money, he gave the chocolate. So something in return, some benefit, some advantage, moving from one person to another person. I purchased a mobile. I gave the 70,000 cash. I got this mobile. In return of the mobile, I gave the cash. That fellow, in return of the cash, he delivered the mobile. What is my consideration? Mobile. What is his consideration? Money. Money. Both have consideration. Something in return. Something in return. What is the meaning of something? You own this building. Market value 50 crores. 50 CR. Parties are ready to pay table cash. Cash they want to pay and buy this property. But you says to your friend Y, you are X. X says to Y, will you buy my house for 5 rupees? 50 crores property you wanted to sell just for rupees 5. Can you sell? You have 1 lakh crores property. Your friend is struggling. Seriously. You have 1 lakh crores property. Can you give 50 crores property to 5 rupees to your friend? Sir, no. सच बोलो, कसम से बोलो. 50 crores, 5 rupees. Yes or no? Can you sell 50 crores property for rupees 5? Yes or no? Your property, Ray. Your property, your wish, na? Can you sell or not? Okay. What do you say finally? Yes, sir? It's excellent. Ascending. Your property, your wish. Sir, can I sell for 1 rupee? Yes. That's why something. Something means consideration need not be adequate. Adequacy means sufficiency. It is 70,000 worth. If I want, I can sell for 1 rupee also. My wish, my property, my wish. 1 rupee is there, na? Without 1 rupee, if I give it, it is a gift. Gift, not a contract. In order to call it as a contract, there should be consideration. Your consideration need not be adequate, but it must be real. Something in return. Pay something, man. Without that, it is not a contract. That's why something in return. Meaning of something, you remember? 1 crore property you can sell for 1 rupee. No issue. Contract valid? Valid. 1 rupee is there, na? Without 1 rupee, if I transfer the property, gift, not a contract. Getting? That's why consideration need not be adequate, but it must be real. Consideration means something in return. some benefit, some advantage, moving from one person to another person. You won a BMW worth 10 crores. I took a knife pointing at you. Madam, sell your car for 10 rupees, otherwise I will kill. You said, take man, take. Is this contract valid? Here also consideration was not sufficient. 10 rupees only, 10 crores property, 10 rupees only. Is this valid? No, because her consent was not free. She was forced. She was compelled to sell 10 crores of property for 10 rupees. That consent should be free. You own the property, you got 1 lakh crores of property, will you think any? On your name, 1 lakh crore property is there. When your friend was struggling, can't you give 50 crores of property for 5 rupees? If I am there in our place, I will give you for 10 paise. Hello, bhai. Because I can share my joy with my friends only, na? When I don't have anyone in and around me, can I be happy alone? Remember and always, no person will be happy in alone. If I want to share my happiness or anything, I need one more person. One hand you are a richest person, other fellow poor man on the road begging. Will you become a best friends any time? Never be. One hand you are richest man, other person is a beggar. In the movies always we see and poorest person, richest person become a best friends. Movies only it will happen. In the real life, will it be practical? Never happens, huh? That's why equals we try to have a friendship also always. We try to see the level of the financial ability. Then only we do a best friendship. Okay, anyway, something in return. Fine, tell me, promise here, what is the meaning of a promise? Sunrise to sunset, we do many promises. Will you do any promise? So far not promise given? Gave the promise. Did you break the promise? Great. I appreciate your guts. So they have guts to appreciate, mean nothing but a confession. Many people won't appreciate. Fine. Anyway, what is the meaning of a promise? Promise, Dad, I will pass my examination first attempt. Promise, Dad, I become first attempt a professional. All exams, foundation, enter, final, first attempt only I will pass. Promise. Will you come to movie tomorrow? Promise, I will come. In every time we take this word. Hey, shall we go for picnic? Who is coming? Promise, Ray, I will come. Promise, first word. What is the meaning of that promise? We take this word very easy way. I know? Every time, I don't know how many of you take this word. Promise, promise, promise. Remember your school days also? Did you take my chocolate? Promise, Ray? No. Mother promise, God promise, teacher promise. I didn't take anything. Or you make a promise on everyone. What's the meaning of that promise? You tell me, guys. School level innocence will be more and more innocence. And later part that innocence will go off. We know how to cheat the people. Great life is only up to 5th class probably. Because we don't know much about the cheating and all. Anyway, you are all good people, no? Not like us. Yeah, tell me. Promise, Ray. What's the meaning? Do you know how to speak? Constitution of India has given a fundamental right to freedom of expression. Fundamental right here, you can speak out. Tell me, what's the meaning of a promise? I definitely do it. Obligation. Obligation means? Okay. Promise means, guys? Interesting. People don't know meaning of a promise. Wow. First time I am seeing like this. Students don't know meaning of a promise. Then how can you do promise then? So without knowing the meaning of a promise, you will make a word. Promise, 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 promise. Don't know meaning of a promise. Tell. Something is there in the mind, you are not saying anything, I believe. Tell. Right or wrong, secondary, tell me here. According to you, what's the meaning of a promise? Anyone, guys? Last chance. You are saying something. Tell. Louder and clear. You don't want to say. Promise, I won't say. Promise means assurance, guarantee, commitment, without fail. Giving an assurance, I will do it without fail. We believe in many promises we believe. Generally, promise given to God, we never commit a breach. I think so. Right? We get to temple and say, if I get a state mark, I will come and break the 10 coconuts. Will you break it? No. Definitely you will go and break the coconuts and come when you get a marks. If I pass exam, first class, if I get, I will come and break the coconut. Definitely will go. Because God, promise to God. Why risk? You will be very careful. With a person, you can't do anything. We can commit a breach. But with God, never we commit a mistake. At any cost, we try to go and fulfill the promise whichever we made. Correct? Now make a promise to God. You all pass examination first attempt. Again I am saying, I am not asking anything from you. I am asking only your success. Hope so. Promise means I will do without fail, assurance, guarantee, commitment. Sir, give definition, man. All these things we don't want. But agreement means always remember one thing, sir. Agreement is equal offer plus acceptance. This formula you remember. Agreement is equal. Agreement spelling please remember correctly and don't write AGG. Some students will write by mistake AGG. If the examiner find AGZ, you are gone. Your paper you won't correct. He will stuck off the whole answer and you don't know meaning spelling of agreement. Certain mistake. Fundamentally, we should not do mistakes. Agreement means AGREE, not AGGREE. No. Don't do certain mistakes, my dear. Agreement is called offer plus acceptance. Now, what is the meaning of promise? Write down promise definition. According to section 2, subsection B. Section 2B. Section 2B, promise means when a person made a proposal to another, when a person made a proposal to another to whom proposal is given, if the person assented, thereto. Thereto is a compound word. See on the board. On the screen, verify. When a person made a proposal to another to whom the proposal is given, if the person assented thereto. Assented means accepted. Assented means accepted. So now we know the definitions of the three lines and contract we know, agreement we know, promise we know. Finally, we take one example, try to see whether three definitions are being satisfied or not. X made a proposal to Y, will you buy my Himayat Nagar house for 2 crores? Y said yes. Now see promise definition. When a person made a proposal to another, to whom the proposal is given, if the person assented. Assented means accepted. What he said, will you buy my Himayatnagar house for 2 crores? I said yes. Promise definition satisfied. So there is a promise. Now go back to agreement definition. What are the essentials? There must be promise. There is a promise. There are 2 persons. There are 2 persons. Here who is offerer? X is offerer. Y is offeree. What's the meaning of offerer? A person who makes a proposal. Who makes a proposal. Who makes a offer to another. Offerer. Offeree, the person who accepts the offer or who gave the consent, we can say, right? There are 2 distinct persons, namely offerer, offeree, promiser, promisee. There are 2 persons here. Second one, there should be consideration. What is the consideration to Mr. X? 2 crores. He is selling now. 2 crores. What is the consideration to Mr. Y? House. So both got a consideration. So promise definition, only acceptance. Whereas agreement definition, there must be promise. Promise is there. There are 2 persons. There are 2 persons. There is a consideration. What is agreement means? I said agreement is equal to offer plus acceptance. Here offer from, acceptance from, offer plus acceptance, they are into agreement. So now go to contract definition. What is the contract? Agreement enforceable by law. Agreement is there. Enforceable means validity. Means sale of the Himayatnagar house, which you own it, is enforceable or not enforceable? Valid, your property. Whenever you want, you can sell it. Enforceable. An agreement enforceable before the law. We can call it as a contract. Contract means agreement plus enforceability. This always remember. Contract means agreement plus enforceability by law. Definition only, otherwise enforceable by law you write in simple. Enforceable by law. Contract is called agreement plus enforceable by law. Okay, no? You are a tenant of this house. You are a tenant of this house. You made a proposal to your friend. Hey, will you buy my house? He said yes. Is this agreement enforceable? Yes or no? No. Why no? Because he is a tenant. Excellent. Offer is there. Acceptance is there. Agreement is there. But it has no enforceability. Means no validity. That's why contract means agreement plus enforceability. You have to check validity side. Am I clear? Now, next. What is the meaning of consensus ad idem? Consensus, it is also Latin word, ad idem. Consensus ad idem according to section 13. According to section 13, 1-3. What is the meaning of consensus ad idem? Friends, right? Meeting of minds. Meeting of minds. Or identity of minds. Identity of minds. Or receiving the same thing. Receiving the same thing in the same sense. Receiving the same thing in the same sense at the same time. Receiving the same thing in the same sense at the same time. Receiving the same thing in the same sense at the same time. Right? We understand this? X made a proposal to Y. Will you buy my BMW for 1 crore? He said yes. There is a consensus ad idem, receiving the same thing in the same sense at the same time. Agreement has to be signed by two persons. Agreement is define the terms and conditions. They have to read the content, understand same thing in the same sense at the same time. If I am able to understand, I would say yes. Otherwise, I may say no. So, first of all, consensus, meeting of mind is necessary. Fine. One more example. X made a proposal to Y. Mr. Y, will you buy my car? But he got two cars. One is Maruti, other one Indica. X made a proposal to Y, will you buy my car? Y said yes, but he is having two cars. Which car, man? You thought of selling Maruti, I thought of buying Indica. No consensus. No meeting of mind, because we haven't made a proposal properly. What you said, will you buy my car? But you have two cars. One is BMW, other one is Audi. You thought of selling BMW, I thought of buying Audi. No consensus. Understanding? One more. X made a proposal to Y. Hey, will you buy my house at Hyderabad? He got two houses. One is at Kachugoda, other one is Chalkalagoda. Which house, man? You want to sell Chalkalagoda house. You wanted to buy Kachugoda house. No consensus. X made a proposal to buy. Will you buy my house? Which house, man? You got two houses. One is at Banjara Hills, other one is at Jubilee Hills. You thought of selling Jubilee Hills house. I thought of buying Banjara Hills house. No consensus. Understanding what I am trying to say? Because offer is not clear. Other example, all of you commerce or non-commerce? All. Excellent. Remember our 10+2 class, commerce class and accounts class? Teacher was saying, plant and machinery rupees 30,000. One student will ask, Madam or Sir, is this 13 or 30? And investments rupees 17,000. Again he will ask, 17 or 70? Did you come across any incidents like this? 90,000 as a 19,000. Have you heard any time? Any experience is there in the class? Then student will asking 1, 2, 2 times. Third time what faculty say? Common baito, samanya baito. How many times I have to repeat? To listen to me carefully. Because between the teacher and student there is no consensus. If you do remember what government of India said, we give Telangana if all political parties in Telangana are having consensus. Telangana we got means not because of the KCR. KCR may be at a front row, definitely. But since all political party, every political party gave a letter, we have no objection, give Telangana. Then only Telangana created. So credit goes to whom? Every political party. You could not take an entire credit that I am the Jatipita, Mahatma Gandhi, something like that. No. But he claimed. But people also believed. Secondary. My contention was everyone is responsible. Telugu Desam gave a letter, CPI gave a letter, CPM gave a letter, including every political party gave a letter. We have no issue. Then only Telangana. If one political party objected, probably Telangana would not have created. That's why we must respect every political party in this contest. Because they got a consensus. Because burning issue, 60 years people are struggling. They were asking a separate state. Give. What that time allegation was made? Andhra people came, they looted us. I know? After 10 years, what we understood? Who looted Telangana now? Tell me. Telangana person only looted. KCR looted. How much money? Unbelievable. Most corrupted prime minister, chief minister, ever heard in the history of after independence. Sorry, I should not. On record it is. Getting recorded. I become hyper and sometime. There should be some contentment, sir. Somewhere some contentment. You made good money, happier. Why? Lakhs of crores of property for you, tell me. If KCR eat properly, he will die. Isn't it? Age factor, na? Health issues, they eat him all the sweets. Eat half a kg sweets one time. You people can eat half a kg sweets aram se. And eat him next day, holiday. Sorry, I should not speak. Are most corrupted PM, CM Ray. Such a money, such a public money looted. Best example, I too believed him, literally, trust me. And the recent past, they giving the report in the newspapers and all. Kaleshwaram project was aimed for 30,000 crores, but they spent 1,40,000 crores. And where that money gone, tell me? That too is stable and then not defective piece again. Again defective piece that was. With that we understand, Amma, cheated. Successful, see, under the trust cheated the public. Telangana people, innocent people, and they will trust everyone. If you tell some good words, people believe. He is a great orator. He speaks very nicely, na? People are under the trap. Greatest cheater. Hey, not on record. I will ask them, remove all these words from the record. Why and unnecessarily? We should not avoid. Of course, I got a fundamental right to express my opinion, isn't it? Based on facts and figures. That too, one more interesting news I am listening for the last 1 week, 10 days. Phone tapping case. Strange. Phone tapping. Phone tapping case is the highest crime. It's a severe crime. If I don't know how many of you knew, Ramakrishna Hedge, late Ramakrishna Hedge was resigned on the allegation of the phone tapping around the 1980s and 80s only was resigned. That time Ramarao was the chief minister here. Ramachandran was the chief minister at Telangana, Tamil Nadu. At Karnataka, Ramakrishna Hedge, RRR, triple R. N.T. Ramarao here, Ramachandran there, later Ramachandran, M.J. Ramachandran, there Ramakrishna Hedge. These three people were ruling the three states. That time only they called triple R. Not triple R movie. They are named. And that time allegation made against Ramakrishna Hedge. He was the phone tapping done. Resigned. Our people, they are doing the phone tapping and they installed machines. They are listening everything. Severe offense and severe offense. Confessions are coming. Probably if people won't see news, we will see news. Only music. Music is on. Party going on. That's it. Of course, age and I can't say. You people should live like that only. You are watching only news means somewhere something wrong with you. Definitely you should go to doctor. At this age, why I am watching the news only? Am I become old? My thought process is stuck up somewhere. Isn't it? Truly, of course. Occasionally read newspaper also. Headings verify. You will understand. Okay. Anyway, my contention simple. This is consensus ad idem. I got the point? No meeting of mind, no contract. So consensus ad idem means receiving the same thing in the same sense at the same time. Fine, sir. Next one, guys. Now write obligation. Obligation. Obligations are classified into two types. One as a social obligation, other one as a legal obligation. Social obligation, another one legal obligation. Social obligation is void, legal obligation is valid. Under that you write all contracts are all contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts. Same line is a essay type question in the examination sometime. Comment. Same line they will give comment. Otherwise, any one part. All contracts are agreements. Comment. All agreements are not contracts. Comment. True or false lines also equal important one. Now tell me, what is obligation? What is obligation? What is our obligation? Okay. What is our obligation? बोलना यार. What is our obligation? To study. Okay. Only study or to pass? वो बोलो. Yeah. What is our obligation? Pass the CA. What is our obligation? To complete the given task. Okay. What is the meaning of obligation, guys? There you are. Excellent. Somebody said here duty, one word I heard. फिर बोलना था. Obligation means duty. Your answers are right. You are giving in a lengthy manner. I am giving one word. Obligation means duty. What is my duty? Complete the syllabus timely. What is our duty? Pass exam. That's all. Na? Study and pass. Beyond that, no other purpose. Na, yeah. So duty means obligation. We are entering into an agreement. Now listen carefully. Parties to agreement are intended to create. Intended means thought of. Parties to agreement are intended to create legal obligation. That contract is valid. Parties to agreement are intended to create legal obligation. It is a contract. Parties to agreement are intended to create social obligation. It is not a contract. So what you thought of creating, it makes a contract. If a parties to agreement are intended to create a legal obligation, then all contracts are agreements. If a parties are intended to create a legal obligation, we thought of creating a legal relationship. Hence, all agreements are, all contracts are agreements. But if a parties are willing to create a social obligation, here offer is there, acceptance is there, agreement is there, but it has no enforceability. That's why all agreements are not contracts. When persons are intended to create a social obligation. That's why this is the base to understand the concept. Obligation means duty. If a parties are intended to create a legal obligation, it is a contract. It is a contract means all contracts are agreements. Because what is contract? Agreement enforceable by law. That's why all contracts are by default agreements. Because it is valid. Other one, parties are intended to create a social obligation. Here, offer is there, acceptance is there, agreement is there, but it has no enforceability. That's why all agreements are not contracts if parties to agreement are intended to create a social obligation. What are the social obligation? First we discuss these points. First example, X made a proposal to Y. Hey, shall we go for picnic? You love to go for picnic? Great. X made a proposal. Shall we go for picnic? He said yes. Later he said, I won't come. Can you sue him? No. Social obligation. Going to picnic is a social obligation. By coming to picnic, tell me what benefit I will get? Except time pass. I know. I thought of coming. Now I changed my mind, man. How can you sue me? Sue means filing a case. I don't know how many of you agree with me. 4 or 5 friends will sit and they will plan. We go for picnic. We go for a travel tour. We go to Goa. We go to Tiruvananthapuram. We go to Kerala. Somewhere we make a plan and the whole night they will sit and they draft a big plan. All said, tomorrow evening 6 o'clock we have to push off. Bye, all go off. Next day, who is there? Only 1-2 people who are standing. The remaining all people say, no, I am not coming. Dad said, don't go. Other part said, Abba, stomach upset since yesterday. I am not coming. Yesterday, I ate biryani and halim. What happened suddenly? I don't know. I am not coming. Last minute, they refused to come. Can you sue them? Why? Picnic social obligation. That's why offer is there, acceptance is there, agreement is there, but it has no enforceability. That's why all agreements are not contracts if parties are intended to create social obligation. Right? Other example. X invites Y. Hey, come to my house for dinner. He said, are you sure? Are friend re, come. Okay, when should I come? Come tomorrow. Done. What is the menu? They defined items also for dinner. One stay at Chikatpalli, one stay at Kokatpalli. X stay at Chikatpalli, Y stay at Kokatpalli. By all the way he came, despite all the traffic and all, he reached by 7:32 p.m. By the time reached the place, his house was locked. Telephone. Where are you, man? Arey, sorry, sorry. My wife said we go to Begum Bazaar to buy something. We went outside. We are in a traffic jam. We cannot come now. I'm really sorry. Will you please come tomorrow? He said, are you sure? Arey, friend re? Come. Okay, done. Another day he came by all the way. Again from Kukatpalli to Chikatpalli. By the time reached the place this time, X was in terribly bad shape. Why? His wife gave 1, 2, 3. Not that he can't give back, physically very strong man. But he gave a word to his father, like Lord Rama. I never raised a hand against a woman. But this woman every day. Somewhere frustration is there, na? That time he came. Why? Hey, what about my dinner? Dinner. Get out! That aggression has to release. And the wife felt very bad. Did I ask a dinner? He only said, come to my house. One day locked, one day get out. ये क्या है यार? Okay, छोड़ दो ये सब. 2 days I came by my own car. Every day 700 rupees petrol charges, up and down. 2 days I came, na 1400 rupees. Give me at least 1400 rupees reimbursement of the petrol charges. Mr. A, Y filed a case against X. Will he succeed? I am not asking a dinner. I am not asking a compensation. Since you invited, I came. Otherwise, I would not have come. Give me petrol charges. With that 1500 rupees or 1400 rupees, I can go to a restaurant. Na? I can have dinner. Aram se. Tell me. Will he succeed for 1400? Yes or no? No. Yes or no? No, raise your hand. You are absolutely right. No is the answer. Yes, no. No, I have invited you for my house for a dinner, not offered. You are invited to my house for a dinner, not offer, my dear young lady. It's only invitation. Whether to give dinner or not, my wish. Isn't it? I thought of giving a dinner. Now I changed my mind. How can you sue me? Go. Go to a restaurant and eat. I thought of giving a conditions were unfavorable. My wife is beating every day. Today she said, if any dinner going on in the house, see man. Come on, sorry. Don't blame always women and just example. So just kidding. It won't happen, I know. Indian woman is very decent and dignified. She never raise a hand against her husband. Okay, example. Have you got it? Dinner case and only for dinner. At the end, conclusion is the dinner. Dinner is social obligation. Offering the coffee, tea, snack, lunch, dinner is courtesy. Not compulsory. By giving dinner to you, what benefit I will get? Nothing. Social obligation. Man is a social animal. They want to live together. You tell me now. Legal obligation example. X made a proposal to Y. Will you buy my mobile for rupees 50,000? He said yes. Offer is there, acceptance is there, agreement is there. Is this sale of mobile is valid or invalid? Valid. They are intended to create a legal relationship. That's why this is a contract. So finally, you can conclude in such a way. This is an agreement, one set. Other set is intention to create a legal obligation. The intersection point is called contract. Only agreement, not a contract. Because it may create a social or legal, any kind of relationship. Whereas intention to create a legal relationship, intention is there, no agreement. Intention is there to sell my mobile, but never made a proposal to you. Is there any contract? Intention is legal, but no agreement. That's why only agreement is not a contract. Only intention to have a legal relationship is not a contract. X intended to marry Y. Marrying Y is legal only, but never told. Will they become wife and husband? Never be. Here also, intention is there, but no agreement. That's why the intersection point between agreement with an intention to create a legal obligation is contract. What is a contract? Agreement enforceable by law. In a pictorial form also can represent. Right? Okay, we see remaining in the next class. Tomorrow. Thank you guys.